Can't get enough of The Witcher on Netflix? Here are 7 other games that deserve their own shows.
Unless you've been frozen in an Erden trap for the last 2 years, you'll know and perhaps love Netflix's impressively muscled adaptation of The Witcher. But what other shows are worthy of the episodic TV treatment?
In this video, we'll pick 7 other games we'd pay a monthly subscription to watch, as well as a smattering of honourable mentions. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe now and hit that notification bell so that you know when our next video lands. But for now, here are 7 games we'd love to see as TV shows.
Something's coming. Get ready.
Let's begin things with an action entry, albeit a left field one. Sekiro Shadows Die Twice would work brilliantly as a compelling but grim reimagining of Sengoku-era Japan. It's an exaggerated, stylised world that would be intoxicating as a live-action show, but it'd be equally strong as an animated series. Think Netflix's own Castlevania series, but created by a Japanese studio.
Wolf's troubled backstory and unusual relationship with death would make for brilliant TV. And the cast of unique supporting characters, such as the sculptor, Emma and Hanbei the Undying, would mean the show was about more than one man's quest to save a kidnapped lord.
And while there are monsters here, yep, that giant snake is going to take up serious room in your CGI budget, the heart of the story is about revenge and redemption.
It was a fine pagoda. Really fine. I bet there's some kind of treasure kept in there.
And our backup choice for this section is Hitman, which would work brilliantly as a glamorous, episodic TV show with Agent 47's origins and purpose acting as the fibre wire thread that ties everything together.
For our sci-fi pick, I've gone with Overwatch. It's practically a TV show already, with a cast of characters to rival Game of Thrones, albeit a version with even more killing and a bespectacled science gorilla. And, of course, there are 2 seasons of beautiful animated shorts filling out the backstories of Overwatch's burgeoning cast of characters.
Genji.
But here's the thing, as wonderful as Overwatch is as a game, not everybody wants to experience those characters in a competitive shooter, no matter how crisply designed the arenas are.
It's hard to fully appreciate Overwatch's tale of terrorists, task forces and international intrigue when a genetically enhanced humanoid hamster is flattening you.
And let's not even think about casting this as a live-action movie. The quality of the animation is good enough that considering using real people would be pretty much sacrilege.
What we want is TV-length episodes fleshing out that pristine world. And with Overwatch 2 on the horizon, there's no better time to let those narrative seeds grow into something more satisfying. And if we can't have Overwatch, our plan B would be Borderlands. Amazing characters, interesting settings, and enough guns to keep any SFX team busy.
Right, I'm not just saying this because I'm, well, me, but just bear with me. I know the Assassin's Creed movie was just fine, but there is a brilliant story to be told within the world of genetic memories, hidden blades, and nefarious modern-day mega-corporations who are secretly power-hungry Templars.
Given that the movie arrived after a near decade of Creed games, there was far too much exposition to fit into under 2 hours, and cram a modern-day and historical story in at the same time. Think about it though, and television would be a much better fit. Not only do you not need quite the same level of here's how this works exposition, we could happily be dropped in with the new modern day protagonist, Layla Hassan.
Layla would be a perfect jumping off point, well, so to speak, as she's invented a new type of animus that allows her to access anyone's memories as long as she's found a source of that person's DNA.
This would open up all kinds of possibilities when it comes to TV seasonal structure. Seasons or individual episodes could have different historical time periods as Layla hunts down the secrets hidden in the past. There'd be room for existing time periods and fan favourite characters, but also all new locations and times. I'm getting excited just thinking about it.
I came to help a fierce group of rebels. But I show up and you're all drunk.
Oh, and in related wishlist magical historical adventures, a Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice TV show would make for a hella good time.
There are loads of good horror movies, but fewer amazing horror TV shows. Although, maybe games can fix that, and that's why I've picked Silent Hill for this category.
Just think about it. Yes, the first Silent Hill movie was pretty solid, but the memory is sullied by the sequels. What better way to wash away the misery then than with brilliantly made episodic TV? You could even use the excellent Haunting of Hill House as a metric. Time-hopping horror based around a specific group of people and one persistently terrifying central location. Instead of just making it about Pyramid Head, it could show us fully established characters and the dark secrets that draw them to Silent Hill. Or you could make it a horror anthology with a different damaged person arriving at Silent Hill each episode to confront their personal demons.
Do I fight and live? Or do those monsters get me?
Unlike a series like Resident Evil, the best bits of Silent Hill are about people. And, coincidentally, that's also what TV is so good at. Truly a marriage made in hell.
And if you don't like the sound of that, how about Layers of Fear or Amnesia: The Dark Descent as alternatives?
A shadow is following you. It's a living nightmare.
There's no shortage of detective shows on TV. You're well served, whether you want cosy Agatha Christie mysteries, Scandi noir, or police procedurals. But how about a show where you follow a booze-addled hobo cop in his mission to find both shoes?
I am, of course, talking about Disco Elysium. It doesn't even matter what type of cop you ended up with in your playthrough, they all have depth and personal demons enough to be worthy of a full exploration in a Netflix series. The cast of supporting characters, in particular beleaguered straight man Kim Kutsuragi, add depth and humanity to an already amazing setting. And, speaking of the setting, who wouldn't want to see the grimy streets of Revachol reimagined in bold cinematic detail?
In some respects, we're lucky enough to have a game with a world dense enough to warrant further expansion. But also, now that I think about it, I probably won't be happy until it exists.
And our honourable mentions in this section are unavowed. Think The X-Files with a 1950s pyromancer and a genie. And The Sexy Brutale, which is basically Russian Doll with extra murder.
Jeez, Mandy, put that sword away.
My next pick could sit as easily in the horror section as it could in the kids. I'm talking about physics-based mollusk em-up, Octodad.
It's a natural fit for a TV show. First of all, you have the opportunity for loads of slapstick comedy as the 6-foot cephalopod tries to navigate everyday life without being revealed. And every episode could end with antagonist Fujimoto almost uncovering the dark truth, only to be foiled at the final moment.
And if you wanted to make it even deeper, you could even include the wider story of how an octopus came to be the figurehead in a human family. Although, to be fair, again, that might stray more into horror territory. Best not to think about it.
My other kids' TV show picks here are Knights and Bikes, which could lead to adorable Imagine-based adventures, and Double Fine Stacking, an educational show where viewers learn about different Victorian jobs via the medium of Matryoshka dolls. And we should throw out a special mention to Costume Quest, which is such a good fit for a kids' TV show that, it is one.
And finally, we've got a wild card entry, Wolfenstein. Is it action, sci-fi, historical? I'm not entirely sure, but it doesn't make me want it any less.
In Machine Games' excellent FPS reboot, BJ Blazkowicz is a solid, believable character for a collection of chunky pixels. He has a troubled backstory, a family, and relatable motivations. Just imagine how much more you could do with him in a TV show. And then you have that harrowing, often hopeless setting. A world where intolerance and hatred has won, with just a few glimmers of light keeping hope alive. It's compelling stuff, even if we've seen slightly similar content before in The Man in the High Castle.
What are you people doing in there?
And let's just be clear, this is the sort of show that could probably only exist on streaming services, because any game that features an interrogation scene with a chainsaw is never going to end up being PG-13.
And our final mention goes to Titanfall 2, a sci-fi buddy comedy between a pilot and his bestie mech. Think Bernard's Watch meets Evangelion.
Pilot, we must establish a neural link in order to proceed.
So there you are, the next games we'd like to see on TV. Let us know what shows you'd like to watch on Netflix next, or better still, what your dream fan casting would be for the titles we mentioned. As ever, drop us a like if you enjoyed this video, and don't forget to subscribe to Logitech G for more videos just like this one. If you do already subscribe, which we really appreciate, hit that notification bell so that you know when our next video lands.